as the songs are layered on top of each other. In order to create a smoother mix, we will use the EQ knobs to take out some of the frequencies from track A and swap them with some of the frequencies from track B. Next, we'll run through some game mode lessons to help you get your timing and movement down. The filter knob sits below the EQ and is one knob that can control and bend multiple frequencies by moving it to the left or the right. When I twist the filter to the right side, I get a high pass filter, letting the high frequencies pass through. And when I twist it to the left, I get a low pass filter. When I click A on the right hand controller, it will snap back to the 12 o'clock position and deactivate the filter. Let's try some game mode lessons to test this out. Now, some of you already have this down, but we do get a lot of questions about how do I load my next song? I've got 2 decks, but how do I load 3 songs? Do I need 3 decks? Now, in the menu in front of the mixer, you'll see the music icon. Point your laser pointer from your hand controller and click the trigger. Now, on the left side, you will see track packs near the top. Click on the DJ Challenge tracks, and you will find the 6 demo songs we were using for the challenge. Click on the next song, and then you will have options for which deck to load it onto. No worries if you load it onto a deck that already has a song on it, it will just override the track on the deck. Now, I want to point out that I will show you later how you can load in your own music through streaming services or downloaded files into Tribe, but for now, let's keep going with the challenge, one step at a time. The next part, I want you to try and load these demo tracks onto the decks and get used to the rhythm and the flow of that. Now we need to break down our third song to figure out how we would get in and out of this one. Just remember, we are trying to solve this puzzle and deconstruct the song to find the parts that are usable and to count the bars there. To save us some time, I have already gone ahead and broken this song down, and I will show you what I found. Now we're going to take a look at our third song. In this one, we can see that we have a nice 16-bar instrumental intro right before the intro starts building for another 8 bars. After that, we have a section with just the melody for 8 bars with no drums. Then it builds again for another 8 bars, and then the 24-bar drop. You can also see that after the drop, we have the same pattern. 8-bar melody without drums, 8-bar build, then 24-bar drop. After the second drop, we have a flat section for 24 bars, which I like to call a plateau. This is a great place to mix out of the song, and to finish it off, we have an 8-bar build for the outro. I know that seems a little weird, but that section could be a great way to bring in another song that has a build to drop there. I'm just going to show you how we have a 16-bar intro here. So I'm going to set a hot cue at the very beginning, and we're going to count this out. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 2, 3, 4, 16, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, then it drops out. For now, we will just focus on how we're getting into this one. So coming out of this time, let's line up the intro with the start of that 16-bar Zelda drop with the synth melody. It looks like these two puzzle pieces will fit together for an extended time. 16-bar intro, 8-bar build will happen over the 8-bar instrumental melody of this time. And then when the 8-bar melody with no drums happens, that should fit nicely over the final 8-bar instrumental section for this time. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 2, 3, 4. Another 8 bars here. Four more bars. Let's get ready. Here we go. Nice. These will play together for 16 bars. Eight more bars. Go. Okay, then we go to instrumental on this one. Almost out of it. 4, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Being able to pre-cue will help us stay a step ahead. For those of you wanting to learn to manually beat match, this pre-cue will help tremendously, but but it's also a great way to audition a mix before bringing it out to the loudspeakers where everyone can hear your experiment. Inside a Tribe, you just need to hold your hand with the hand controller up to your ear, click the trigger, and you'll activate the pre-cue. Check it light up the headphone icon to the left of the crossfader. Next, select the deck that you want to pre-cue. This button is above the volume fader, so if you are playing a song on the left deck, you'll want to click the cue button above the right deck volume fader. Now we're going to mix our first 3 songs together and use pre-cue to help us do this to minimize any of the mistakes we might have. I'm just going to quickly show you a sequence where I can go ahead and use the game mode to show you the movement for when I'm going to select my cue. So you'll notice that my volume fader is down on the deck that I'm bringing in. My volume fader is up on the deck that's playing. And then I'm going to activate cue on this side. I'm also going to activate the cue in my ear. And then in my ear, I can hear. Sounds good. I'm going to bring it up. Let's say I'm going to mix it out here. Now I'm going to take the cue off that one, put the cue on this one. Sounds good coming in. I'm going to bring it in. There we go. Come out of this one. Take the cue off that. Cue on this side. Bring it in. Bring it in. Now I got the cue ready on this side. All right, now it's time to put it all together. We are going to mix our first 2 songs according to where the hot cues are, but this time we will be smoothing out the mix with the EQ and filter. After we've successfully mixed into song 2, we will be loading up song 3, and we'll use our hot cues to tell us when to start mixing that song in as well. Let's do it.
Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause.
Congratulations on getting this far. I know yesterday's lesson may have been a lot to digest, but keep in mind we are going to keep building on what we've covered and reinforcing these concepts. Today, we will be mixing our fourth song in and unlocking continuous movement on the EQ, filter, and all of the faders. We will also be getting into how we can use auto loops in the mix. Using a loop is an incredible feature that we unlock in the world of digital DJing. This technique dates all the way back to DJ Kool Herc in the Bronx, manually restarting the break or bridge of a song on vinyl records to keep the kids dancing, and is literally the beginning of hip-hop as a genre and a culture. But I'll save that full story for another time. Now, almost every DJ rig has a button that you can push that will create an infinite loop, along with buttons to shorten or extend that loop. This can be used to creatively mix between songs and is a bridge to making beats as well. Let's run through a couple of exercises and get used to setting loops and extending and shortening them in game mode. We've already learned what the EQ and filter do and how we can use them to smooth out the mix. In our earlier lessons, the behavior of these knobs was to simply click on the knob and it would turn. Now, we are unlocking a more realistic control of these knobs by giving you continuous movement. When you grab a knob, reach out and touch it and it will vibrate and turn blue. Then, click and hold the trigger, then twist your hand in the same motion that you would in real life. Let's give this a try. In this next exercise, you will be moving the EQ by holding the trigger and moving your hand in the direction indicated on the beat highway. You can choose to move more slowly or quickly, but just make sure you do more than just click on the button now that we have continuous movement. Good luck. Next, we are going to be breaking down our fourth song in the mix. In this song, we have an intro of 8 bars without drums and vocals, and then we have an 8-bar vocal section with an 8-bar build into a 24-bar drop. You can see that this essentially repeats itself in the second half of the song as well. Based on what I've already mapped out, where do you think the best place would be to try and mix song 4 into song 3? I'll give you a moment to look at both of these maps right now. Keep in mind, there's no one right answer, and this is where the art of mixing is. If I gave us all the same songs, we may all mix them slightly differently. I think where I want to try to mix this is on the 16 bars leading up to the drop. So you can see there is a 16-bar lead up or build that I can use coming out of song 3. And I'm going to line that up with the 16 bars, essentially the 8 and 8 of those vocals that are happening that are going right before the drop here. So almost doing another drop swap. Let's go ahead and try that out. Time to put it all together. Remember to follow the beat highways, and since you have full continuous movement of the knobs and faders, you may choose to move more gradually or more abruptly depending on your style. Your score will not reflect that, but will instead register correctly if you start at the time the beat highway tells you. Don't forget to have fun. Let's do it.
Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play.
Welcome into day 4 of the DJ Challenge. Today is a big day. We are busting out the top of the line Pioneer DJ CDJ 3000s and the DJM 900 Nexus 2 mixer, and I think you're ready for it. Everything that we have learned on the simplified decks will still be helpful and will translate to this larger rig, but we will also be going over some new techniques as well today. Let's jump in. Let's start with the CDJ 3000. A few things are different, but let's focus on what's familiar first. So, hot cues. Hot cues used to be below the actual platter. Now, you'll see they're above the platter and below the screen. And instead of having only 4 hot cues, we now have 8 hot cues. Loops. Loops are located in the same general area as they were on the simplified decks, except for now we also have an 8-beat loop. So we have a 4-beat loop and an 8-beat loop. And hitting each of those buttons will either extend the loop or shorten the loop. Play and cue are essentially the same. You'll see they're located in the same area as they were on the simplified decks. Beat sync. We now have a master sync and then a beat sync button. So you'll select which deck is your master at the time. You'll select master on that deck, and then every other deck that you have, you can hit beat sync and it will sync to the master deck. Other features. There are a few other features that we'll start to incorporate, but I just want to give you a moment to play around with the CDJ3000 and get familiar. When you're ready, hit next and we'll move on to the mixer. This is one of the most popular mixers that you will see in almost any club or festival stage around the world, so it's important to get familiar with it. In fact, we have some DJs in Tribe that literally use our platform to practice on the same rig they will be playing on at the club when they are on the road or don't have access to this $2,000 mixer. Again, starting with what's familiar. EQ and filter are in the vertical position above the volume fader, but you'll notice that this is a 4-channel mixer compared to the 2-channel simplified decks mixer you were on before. So you'll notice that on the left deck, that is actually routing into channel 1 on our mixer. The right deck is going into channel 4. We technically don't have anything plugged into channels 2 and 3, but if we were to get 4 CDJs out here, then we would use all 4 channels. The filter knob does behave a little bit different, and we'll be breaking that down shortly. This is actually referred to as the color effects knob. More in just a moment. The crossfader also needs to be assigned since there are more than 2 channels. To keep it simple, I suggest switching channel 1 to be A and channel 4 to be B. When you bring in, again, 4 decks, you'll also need to assign those as well. Now, you can also move the crossfader assign to the middle, which would make that through, and it would disable the crossfader. So if you're one that doesn't really use the crossfader, maybe you want to choose that as an option. Beat effects. To the right of the mixer, we'll see this beat effects section, and we'll cover this in this lesson as well. There's so many cool effects that we can add into the mix. Headphones and pre-Q is similar to the simplified decks, and that's located in the bottom left-hand corner of the mixer. Again, you can hold your hand controller up to your ear and click, and that will activate the pre-Q. Try to not get too overwhelmed. I'll give you a moment to explore a little bit more, and when you're ready, click next and we'll move on to the next lesson. The color effects adds non-rhythmic effects to each channel. There are 6 different color effects, and we will break down each of them. There are several steps. First, select the effects that you want on the far left-hand side. That's just a button there. So you'll see options like filter, noise, dub echo. So you'll select one of those. Next, we'll move the parameter knob, the knob that's literally right below that. I usually like to start with this at 12 o'clock, and then I'll adjust depending on the effect. Next, select the color effects knob for the channel that you want to apply the effects to. So in this case, we would apply this effect to channel 1. Let me show you a real quick demo on how to use this with the filter. All right, here we go. I'm going to select filter. It's blinking. It lets me know that now it's activated. Now my color effects knob I can use. I like where my parameter's at. It's already at 12 o'clock. I can hit A to return to the middle, which would essentially turn off the filter. I can also deactivate the effect and not necessarily have to move the knob back to the 12 o'clock position in order to be able to get this real quick snap of it turning off. Awesome. Now it's your turn.
In the darkness. in the darkness. I can't control you. Hope you can bend some time. 'Cause I'm just you. No worry. I got a feeling on the inside. And no man can hold you. 'Cause you're frozen. Cold inside. You told me we could fly. Into space and we get high in the darkness.